Hello, everybody. I will be.
Are you ready?
Well, I might need that prompter a little bit, but I'm ready as I'll ever be. Good morning and welcome, Pioneers, to today's edition of the Juice Sports Show. We are here. I'm Ethan Hunter alongside Ben and Canner, and we are today going to be talking about a little bit of MLB baseball coming up soon, but most of the show will be talking about the men's and women's March Madness brackets that have been, just wild so far through these this weekend and going on this week.
I think wild is an understatement, quite frankly. I think that the year off really made us all forget how much craziness actually happens in the tournament. Everybody picked their brackets, and I just don't recall a time where there were this many upsets that were of this magnitude as well, where you see two seeds like Iowa and Ohio State fall and Illinois fall as a one seed like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Just absolutely crazy. I don't remember a tournament like it where you have so many powerhouses go down in the first weekend. Especially in the first round to Oral Roberts. Nonetheless.
That's
wild
right.
things happening.
Everyone's out of the game right now. Kansas is out. Duke and North Carolina didn't even make it.
Yeah. That was just a shame.
Yeah, so a lot of these great programs out early.
Right, Kentucky's not in there either. Yeah. We are going to send it over to Abby Ryan to give us a little bit of inside information about spring training in the MLB upcoming season as the LA Dodgers look to retain their World Series title this year.
In Major League Baseball, spring training is a series of practices and games preceding the regular season. Spring training allows players to try out for new positions and gives established players practice time prior to competitive play.
Tensions are high this spring training due to last year's getting cut short due to COVID. There have been countless players that have been discovered during spring training and more to come. And of course, like with anything else, there are some strange traditions. In this case, it's the number of days until the pitchers and catchers report to the field. But why are they first? It's not necessarily because they need more time together, but that there are so many pitchers, sometimes 30 or more. And teams need to get rid of the ones they don't need. Their tradition, according to the Sports News, has gone back nearly 100 years.
Not the Dodgers. Stamos swings and he drives this one toward left center field. Peters dives, makes the catch. A sensation.
Looking into spring training this week, the teams are out to play. The Cubs play the Indians, which will be a very competitive match as the Cubs have won 3 World Series and 17 National League pennants. And the Red Sox have won 9 World Series and hope for a good season after their events that followed their 2019 season. Good luck to the New York Mets while I cheer them on against the Washington Nationals. Hopefully the Mets pull out a win and help their preseason before they play the Phillies, which are their biggest rivals. I look forward to continuing to watch the spring training as it progresses through March, April, and May. Let's hope all the teams do well and we have an amazing 2021 baseball season.
I hope you learned something new about spring training, and now back to the news desk.
Thank you, Abby. We are now going to be moving on to the bracket and March Madness. We're going to start off with men's and move to women's. So we're going to take a quick look, actually a pretty long look, at all the things that have happened this weekend. So we're going to throw up some footage of those games now, and we will break it down for you guys over what happened this weekend. So starting out here, we're first going to be looking at the Florida game, and or we aren't. Hello.
Little difficulty.
Little technical difficulties.
But that's okay.
Here.
We can still talk about the Florida game, Ethan.
That's right.
A big win for them yesterday. And as you said, Trey Mann is the man, and Florida does move on. There we go.
There it is. This was a long time ago, all the way dating back to Friday. Virginia Tech with Florida. Trey Mann, bang! I mean, what are you going to do to that? Virginia Tech fought back but could not finish it off.
Oral Roberts coming into Ohio State. The 2 seed thought they had a nice walk in the park, but that high-octane offense of Oral Roberts gets the win.
Loyola Chicago looks to move on. They made a Cinderella run a couple of years ago, and so far in this tournament, they are making people hurt, and Sister Jean's out there loving every second.
That's right. We'll be seeing them once again pretty soon. North Texas and Purdue. Purdue forced it into overtime after being down most of the game, but North Texas took it on and finished out on top.
That's right, and then Rutgers and Clemson, a very close game, coming down to the wire, but Rutgers is able to hold on.
And then you got Eastern Washington and Kansas. It looked to be an easy game for Kansas like Ohio State had with Oral Roberts, but that was not the case. And you see a lot of these blue blood programs, they were struggling this year, Ben.
They sure were, and you're going to see Kansas later get taken down as well. UCSB, the Santa Barbara Honchos, and Creighton. Santa Barbara looked like they were going to make it happen, but this exciting free throw is what put Creighton on top and stunned the upset.
Iona led by Rick Pitino. He's back in March, but it was not enough as Alabama rolls through.
And the Ohio Bobcats, oh yeah, they had a big upset of Virginia in the first round of the tournament. Everybody in the state of Ohio, Joe Burrow going crazy here in Ohio, and the Bobcats moved on in their first game.
That's right. That was Ben Roderick, Liberty native, coming in and hitting that clutch three, the dagger, to put it on top. Virginia made that three, but it was not enough. Abilene Christian in Texas. What is happening, everyone? Texas goes up with a little bit left, 13 seconds, but Abilene Christian comes in and ices it with these free throws with 1 second left. Don't foul the big man. He's going to make those.
That's right, and then on to the second round. Loyola Chicago, Cameron Krutwig making things happen. The big man was all over Kofi Coburn, and he leads Loyola Chicago past number 1 seed Illinois.
Huge upset there, Ben. Ruined my bracket for sure. The Big Ten has been struggling so far in this tournament. Not many of them are left standing.
No, but Sister Jean moves on.
And you've got my guys out there in Morgantown, West Virginia, falling to Buddy Boeheim and Syracuse Orange. They are on a roll. Buddy Boeheim could be the player watching this tournament as Syracuse was able to get past West Virginia. Their early start with the jump there at the beginning, they went up 7-0 and had about a 15-point lead on West Virginia for most of the first half. It was too much to come back and overcome for the Mountaineers as they fall to the Orange in the second round in what was a huge upset with a big win. A little Big East action for you as Jim Boeheim and the 901 win Bob Huggins go at it.
That is right. Rutgers and Houston. I kind of thought that Rutgers was going to pull it off. You know, all these incredible upsets that have gone on so far. Rutgers beating Houston in the first round, but they could not make it happen. Don't foul with 24 seconds left. You know we making that anyway.
That's an and one.
That's right.
Oral Roberts keeping the hot streak alive. They are in a dogfight with Florida, and once again, their offense proves to be too much as Oral Roberts was able to squeak by. Trey Mann had a shot to finish it off for Florida, tie it up, and keep them alive, but he does not make it. That guy, Max Abrams from Oral Roberts, really, he just does not miss. No. He is one of the best. He's one of the better players
in the entire country.
Yeah.
Oregon State and Oklahoma State. This one was a late game on Sunday, and it was absolutely fantastic. I stayed up and watched it, and my goodness, this is what March is all about, fellas.
Sure
Oregon
is.
State running up against Cade Cunningham, and they played really, really well. It was such an exciting game to watch. It was down to the wire.
It sure was. Oregon State coming out on top, though, as we said. The Beavers, I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought the 15 seed is going to the Sweet 16? Oral Roberts coming in and making it happen. Iowa and Oregon, my goodness, I don't know who would have expected this either. He got hops, dunks it in, and I mean 95 points they put up on Iowa.
Absolutely. You must have thought Oregon was Iowa last night with the offensive phenom that they portrayed out there.
That is right.
Absolutely crazy. I could not believe my eyes.
UCLA is going to the Sweet 16. They battled Abilene Christian, who was coming off a nice win, but man, UCLA really just put some buckets in there.
Yeah, and a sad one yesterday for those in Ohio is Ohio did fall to Creighton. It wasn't very close, but the Bobcats did get the big upset in the first round and had everybody excited going in.
No, and Jason Preston, though. Remember the name.
Do what?
Jason Preston, remember the name. You'll be seeing him in the NBA, I think, in some pro league. Michigan and LSU. Shaq's LSU Tigers could not get it done.
last night, and that was all because of Michigan's three-point shooting. The two things that these the higher seeds are doing well is three-point shooting.
Look at the
they're
ball
going to
movement.
fend off these upsets, and I mean,
I really thought LSU was going to pull it off. I thought Michigan was a little worrisome.
What about the Mobley brothers? Isaiah and Evan Mobley lead USC past Kansas. Everyone really thought Kansas was hitting their stride coming into March. They were going to make something happen, but not quite. USC rolls over Kansas.
That's right.
Absolutely crazy day yesterday in basketball. Gonzaga rolled over the Sooners as well.
Yeah.
The Big 12 and Big 10 are both struggling mightily. Baylor is one of the only Big 12 teams left, and the Big 10 is almost all but out.
Yep, down to Michigan.
That's right.
That's a sad thing to say, isn't it, Ben?
It sure is. I mean, the things that I've noticed going in, when those higher seeds are losing, you're seeing these higher seeds are like plus 20 turnovers.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing, that's just bad basketball. And, no matter how good of a team you are, if you lose that, I mean, if you give up 20 turnovers, it's really hard to battle it back. I mean, Abilene Christian, they had 20 turnovers forced 20 turnovers per game in the regular season. They're not playing in a great league there.
They're great.
But that is insane. And Ohio State hurt with about 19 turnovers.
Right.
Texas had 22.
Yeah.
Kansas turned it over plenty in that USC route. All of these teams are just, I don't even know what to say, because that's not the basketball that we've seen all season.
Right.
But that's not the year that we've seen all season. I mean, this year is crazy. Anything can happen. And I thought, if there's a year that insane could happen, it's this year.
Definitely. You look at teams like Loyola Chicago, and they really do have a chance to make a run here. I mean, Illinois is gone.
Yeah.
They don't have that region is wide open now, and the Ramblers could make it to the Final Four again. And I think that it could definitely happen. I think Gonzaga is going to be a tough team to beat. I really didn't think they were that great. They haven't played some real teams since December when they started, their league or their conference play, I guess. But I mean, they rolled past Oklahoma yesterday. Oklahoma was pretty hot near the end of the season. They made a little bit of a run there in the Big 12 tournament, but the Jalen Suggs, I mean, he's just so good. He's hitting these rainbow layups while he's laying on the ground. It just falls in every single time. It's crazy to see, but a crazy tournament thus far. And our teams are all out, so now we can just sit back and enjoy no stress basketball, I guess.
That's right.
That's the positive you can look at there.
Yeah, go lower seeds. 15
That's right.
out of the 16 seeds move on to the second round.
And every seed, except for the 16 seed, won in the first round, had a win in the first round. So that was pretty wild. And I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore, because we're just going to sit back, as Tanner said, and enjoy the next upcoming games.
You got a lot of hot teams coming in, and you got it's like hockey. You got the hot goalie, you're going to be gun. And these teams, they all got one or two really hot guys. You look at Syracuse, Buddy Boeheim. That dude can hit a shot. He set the NCAA record. He made 17 threes through the first two games.
He only had one in the first half, and he just kind of went crazy in that second half.
The second half, he took over for the Orange and was able to put away my Mountaineers.
That's right. So I think going forward, there's still 3 1 seeds left, so we could have like a traditional final bracket there at the end. But I'm sure hoping that somebody pulls an upset on these teams.
I think Alabama's got a really good chance to beat Michigan. I do.
Yeah.
Baylor looked really, really good over the weekend, though, too. They looked like regular season Baylor before their COVID pause. They were hitting every shot, and Mayer coming off the bench, he had, I think, 17 or so. And if you're going to be able to put those kind of performances together, that's going to be a tough team to beat.
That's right.
Got the Razorbacks in that one, though, too.
Yeah, Arkansas. They almost lost, though. But, a lot of fun in the upsets. Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Moving on to the women's bracket. On the women's side, also some upsets. It's a lot harder to pull an upset on the women's bracket, just because, you look at these first seeds and you see a lot of, only 1 or 2 losses during the season. That's Paige Beckers. She is the best woman in this tournament, and she's only a freshman. She was named to the AP All-American team last week. She led UConn to win 102-59 against High Point. Beckers leads her team in scoring with 19.7 points per game, assists with 6 assists per game. She has 55 threes on the season, 55 steals on the season. That's a Ben Keller stat right there. He loves his steals, and she has been elite at it. And she's the only true freshman to lead a D1 team in all 4 categories.
The clamps, man.
Yeah.
Clamps mean everything.
They sure do. She set the UConn freshman record in points per game and assists per game. And they have 2 coaches out with COVID right now. But they're making it happen, especially with Paige
Gina
Beckers.
and Arnariema. You thought it could be a little tough for UConn, but, Chris Daly, he's doing a fine job.
They are
and when you have that much talent,
They're
right?
powerhouse,
It's not that hard. Something interesting earlier this season, South Carolina women, they're a really strong team too, and they fell to a couple teams in the ACC or in the SEC, excuse me, and that was a little surprising. But they're going to put together a little run here too, I think, and they'll be able to compete.
Yeah, they're a number 1 seed, and it's like we said, it's hard to get losses.
It's almost like college football in a way, where you've got the 4 or 5 real powerhouse schools.
That's right.
In the women's side of the NCAA basketball world.
That bracket is chalk right there.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
but we still saw some
You do have
upsets.
these surprise teams. The West Virginia women played really well Sunday night. Made the state feel a little bit better after that tough loss to Syracuse.
That's right.
They had a big win on Sunday. That was fun to watch.
Unfortunately for us, though, Ohio State is still banned from postseason play right now. So they're out of the tournament. I mean, they couldn't even be in the tournament. They put together a good season, so there's nothing to be too sad about. But back to the tournament, an over and back call prevented number 15 Troy from potentially upsetting number 2 Texas A&M. Texas A&M went up by 2 at the end of the game, and the Texas A&M girl caught it. She ran over the line, but they didn't call it. They said that was still part of the inbounds play.
I think it was tipped. I think that's the reason that
I think so too.
I think they call it a tip pass, and that's totally fine. I'm with Texas A&M getting the win there.
Reagan Yamasaki was real happy about that. Her Aggies move on.
That's right. The coach, the Texas A&M coach, said that if she did have control of it, it was an over and back. If she didn't have control of it, it was a good call. So obviously, he's not putting too much on there, but I think it was pretty clear if you look at it that something happened there. And
a little interesting. Huh?
Yeah. So that prevented the number 15 upset over the 2. But moving on is the Texas A&M Aggies anyway.
Number 13 seed Wright State was one of the few upsets. They took down the 4 seed Arkansas Razorbacks in a 4-point game. Point guard Angel Baker had 26 points and 12 rebounds and hit a game-winning 3 with 30 seconds left. Put the dagger in Arkansas. Wright State moves on to the next round.
I mean, same as we said earlier, the threes were just killing the teams. I mean, these women have been shooting. I mean, this 3-point percentage I was looking is just insane for this tournament.
It's very impressive to see.
Yeah.
And that's what these lower seeds are doing. Belmont upsets number 5 Gonzaga 64-59. Freshman Destiny Wallace scores 25 points, and she had 7 assists as well. And Gonzaga's a powerhouse school in basketball on both sides as well. So to see those women go down was a little bit of a surprise in the first round.
That's right. Nothing. I mean, just watching these upsets happen, it's just that kind of year. I could see, the way that Wright State was playing, the way that Belmont played against, a really good Gonzaga team.
Right.
Who knows what's going to happen? Destiny Wallace could lead her team to victory over. Yeah. And she's being the player who led the Bruins to their first NCAA tournament win.
That's right. Belmont Bruins had a good game there. Going over to Iowa, back in the Big Ten, Iowa stormed over Central Michigan 87-72, and Caitlin Clark had 23 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. She averages 26 points per game. That's really something. That's
Paige Bucket's numbers.
Some 2K rec kind of averages right there if I've ever seen anything. Elite scorer, elite playmaker, and she ended up leading the NCAA this season in her 3 points with 254 threes made.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That is a lot. Baylor forward Nylessa Smith has been going for the alley-oop pass and finish on this season, and she helped the Bears pull forward and win the game. Her and junior Queen Egbo control the games defensively too. I mean, just those big.
Gotta have clamps.
Right. Height and size, and especially in the women's tournament, means a lot. And when you can get those alley-oop passes, it's exciting to watch.
It's fantastic. Gamecock coach Dawn Staley gets her 500th career win against Mercer. Congratulations congratulations to her and the South Carolina women. They are a powerhouse, and they could be a tough team to beat in this tournament. You know, losing in the regular season isn't the worst thing in the world, but losing the tournament means you're done.
Yeah.
They don't want to go home.
That's right.
Yeah, 30-point difference.
Joining the 500 club,
Yeah.
along with Bob Huggins, who just joined it.
900.
Oh, 900.
900.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, watch out for that guy.
Him
Watch
and
out for Bear.
Krzyzewski and Boeheim and Roy Williams, baby.
There you go.
That's what I'm
I
talking
have
about.
Roy Williams' biography sitting on my desk. I've never read it, so maybe I've got to learn how to be
you
a
gotta read
500
it.
win coach.
Yep.
UConn, Stanford, and Baylor are ESPN's current power index picks to potentially win the tournament. I have UConn going all the way. I don't know how you can stop Paige Buckets.
Yeah.
She's over on our screen here, just out of frame, but she's been the whole tournament, and I think they'll roll over. I mean, 100 points. Oregon almost. I was really hoping Oregon on the men's side would put up those two final threes to get over 100.
Yeah, they've scored the most points out of either side so far on the men's and women's side.
Yeah. Other than
High
UConn's
points are just
102.
not showing up. I mean,
Other than
Well, no, that's what I'm talking about. UConn
yeah.
women have the most points so
Yes.
far in both NCAA tournaments.
Yes.
And they're going to be really tough.
That's right.
And they're always a tough team to beat. Gino does a great job up there in Connecticut.
And Oregon won on the women's side as well without Sabrina Ionescu, who is balling in New York now in the WNBA. So that is all we have for you today.
We'll be back tomorrow with national news, and then on Thursday, since we're not here Friday this week, we'll have the high school sports show. Mini sports are underway. Ben Keller's got the senior lac season going strong.
yeah, big cause turnover. Let's go.
He leads the team in
penalty minutes.
In penalty minutes. There you go. So for this slice of orange sports, I'm Ethan with Ben and Tanner. Thank you for watching. And go ahead, snuggle up and watch some more games.
I got to watch those tripping calls, man. I get like 2 of them a game.
We'll see you tomorrow.